In the quiet town of Aylesbury, a peculiar invitation arrives. A town that thrives on simplicity and routine, Aylesbury is the kind of place where neighbors share cups of sugar and children's laughter echoes through the streets. Yet, on this day, the usual harmony is disrupted by the arrival of an unexpected piece of mail. The envelope, unassuming in its appearance, holds an invitation that would stir a whirlwind of intrigue and unease. The sender? An old friend. A figure from the past who had once been a staple in the community but had slowly faded into the background. Known for his eccentricities and love for the mysterious, he was a character that left an imprint in the minds of the townsfolk. His name alone was enough to evoke a sense of nostalgia and mild apprehension. Now, after years of silence, he has reached out with an invitation. An invitation to his home, a grand old house that loomed on the outskirts of Aylesbury, shrouded in whispers and rumors. A place that, despite its imposing facade, had been forgotten by most, just like its owner. The invitation, written in the friend's distinctive hand, was brief and to the point, yet it carried a certain gravity. It hinted at a gathering of sorts, a reunion perhaps, but the cryptic nature of the message, coupled with the long absence of the friend, added a layer of mystery that was hard to ignore. The townsfolk were left to wonder. What could have prompted this sudden reach out? What was happening at that old house? The questions multiplied, and with them a sense of foreboding that hung in the air, as tangible as the invitation itself. As the day faded into the evening, the town of Aylesbury was left in a state of suspense. The simplicity of their everyday life had been disrupted, replaced with a mystery that was as fascinating as it was frightening. Armed with curiosity and a sense of dread, we journeyed towards the house. As we approach the house, an eerie silence hangs in the air. The house itself, a Gothic monolith of weathered stone and gnarled wood, stands imposingly against the somber backdrop of a sky shrouded in dark, brooding clouds. It's as if the very air around the house has become stagnant, a tangible manifestation of the chilling dread that permeates the atmosphere. The house seems to loom larger with every step we take, its towering spires and jagged angles casting long, ominous shadows that dance and flicker like phantom specters. The windows, like hollow eyes, seem to watch us, their glassy surfaces reflecting nothing but the darkness within. Around us, the landscape is equally unsettling. The once lush greenery is now a desolate wasteland of twisted skeletal trees and withered shrubbery. The grass, once vibrant and full of life, seems to have been drained of all its color, leaving behind a carpet of ghostly white. There's a stillness here that's unnatural, a silence that's deafening. Even the wind seems to shy away from this place, leaving a void of sound that's oppressive and chilling. Our protagonist, a beacon of normality in this sea of strangeness, can't shake off the growing sense of unease. With every step closer, the dread deepens, like the drop of a roller coaster just before the plunge. There's a nagging feeling at the back of his mind, a whispering warning that something is very, very wrong. As we near the entrance, strange occurrences begin to unfold. The air grows colder, a shiver-inducing chill that seeps into the bones. An inexplicable rustling can be heard, a sound that's out of place in the deathly silence. The world seems to be holding its breath, waiting, watching. And then we stand before the massive door, its dark wood marred by age and neglect. The handle, cold and uninviting, awaits our touch. A sense of foreboding washes over us, a final warning of the horrors that lie beyond. With a deep breath, we step into the unknown. Inside the house, a chilling discovery awaits. A strange aura envelops us, as if we've crossed into another realm where the rules of reality no longer apply. Each room we explore reveals something more unsettling than the last. An uncanny mixture of the familiar and the strange, as if our childhood nightmares have come to life, interwoven with the fabric of this eerie dwelling. There's a peculiar symphony of noises that seems to follow us from room to room. Creaking floorboards echo our steps, while the rhythmic drip 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 of unseen water sends shivers down our spine. The whispering wind seems to carry voices, murmuring secrets we are not meant to hear. These aren't just random sounds, they seem intentional, as if the house itself is trying to communicate with us. Then, there are the cold spots. Wandering through the house, we stumble upon pockets of icy air, so sudden and sharp that they take our breath away. It's as if the very warmth of life is being sucked out, replaced by an unnatural chill. It's more than just a temperature drop, it's a tangible sense of dread that wraps around us like a shroud. But perhaps the most disturbing part is the feeling of being watched. It's that prickly sensation at the back of your neck, the goosebumps that rise unbidden on your skin, that uncanny certainty that you're not alone. It's a fear that grows with each passing minute, each strange occurrence, until it's a near physical presence, gnawing at our courage, urging us to leave. And we want to leave. There's a primal instinct within us that screams for escape, yet as we turn to flee, we find the house is not so easy to abandon. The doors that once stood open now slam shut, the windows refuse to budge. It's as if the house itself has become a living entity, a predator that has trapped its prey. But as we try to leave, we realize the house has other plans. In the heart of the house, the true horror is unleashed. Our protagonist, caught in the jaws of this malevolent dwelling, finds himself trapped, ensnared in a web of terror that's far from any earthly understanding. The house, once a symbol of comfort and safety, transforms into a living nightmare. As the darkness deepens, he begins to perceive ghostly apparitions. The ethereal figures are not of this world, their faces twisted into expressions of utter despair. They drift through the walls, silent as the grave, their hollow eyes filled with a sorrow that chills the soul. These spectral beings, trapped between the world of the living and the dead, seem to be crying out for release, their silent pleas echoing through the cold, desolate halls of the house. Then, the voices start. They whisper from the shadows, soft yet insistent, their words indiscernible. They seem to emanate from nowhere and everywhere at once, a cacophony of unseen speakers that fill the quiet with their eerie symphony. The protagonist, despite his mounting fear, can't help but listen, drawn into their ghostly chorus. But it's the unseen hands that truly evoke terror. They touch, they grasp, they pull. They're a chilling reminder of an unseen presence, a spectral touch that sends shivers down the spine. They're not violent, not cruel, but their cold, insistent touch is a horrifying testament to the house's unseen occupants. As our protagonist reels from these terrifying events, he begins to piece together a dreadful truth. The house isn't just haunted, it's a vessel of trapped souls, a purgatory for those who couldn't find peace in their passing. It's a house of sorrow, of despair, a monument to the tragic past it conceals. And so, in the heart of darkness, in the face of unimaginable terror, our protagonist uncovers the house's dark past. The house is no ordinary dwelling but a limbo between life and death, a prison for those who've been wronged and forgotten. In the face of terror, we uncover the house's dark past. In a desperate bid for freedom, we confront our fears. The protagonist, driven by terror and a will to survive, musters every ounce of courage to make an audacious escape from the haunted house. Their heart pounds like a drum, echoing the urgency of their flight, as they navigate the labyrinthine corridors of the house. Every shadow and whisper in the wind sends chills down their spine, but the protagonist persists, resolute in their determination to escape the sinister clutches of the house. They stumble blindly through the darkness, guided only by an instinctive longing for freedom. A fleeting moment of triumph washes over them as they crash through the front door, the cold night air on their face a stark contrast to the stifling dread within the house. In the aftermath of their harrowing experience, the protagonist is forever changed. The once jovial and carefree individual now bears the weight of an experience few could ever comprehend. The psychological scars left by the house's horrifying specters have seeped into their everyday life, casting a long, inescapable shadow. Nightmares plague their sleep, each one a vivid replay of the ghastly horrors they encountered. The once familiar comforts of home now serve as a constant reminder of their ordeal. Every creak of a floorboard, every flicker of a light bulb, sends a jolt of fear coursing through their veins. The world, once filled with wonder and joy, now seems fraught with unseen dangers. The protagonist's escape from the house was not a victory, but a reprieve. They carry with them the haunting memory of their experience, a chilling reminder that evil can lurk in the most unsuspecting of places. Their life has been irrevocably marked by an encounter with the supernatural, a testament to the enduring power of fear. As we leave the house behind, we can't help but wonder, what other horrors lurk in the quiet town of Aylesbury? The protagonist's story serves as a chilling warning to us all, for in the shadows of our world, unimaginable horrors await, ready to strike when we least expect it.